And that kind of leads me into my next question about ITSF, USTSF, trying to basically rebuild the player base from the grassroots on up. What do you think about ITSF and USTSF? Do you think it's a good thing for the sport?
I think any organization has anything to do with foosball is good. You know, what the federations are trying to do is just really bring structure to the game. The game's the game. It's there. But they try to bring some organization, and I've seen the way foosball's done in other countries, but I see the way other compact sports or indoor sports are done too. And we kind of did it backwards in foosball. We started with a big tournament event, and that's not going to be successful. In the early 70s, foosball became so popular, it became too popular actually. Popularity outgrew its infrastructure. Leagues is really what we need to develop, a local base, league level that keeps bringing in players that handicap systems use to really, you have to have a pyramid effect for something like that to be successful. And if you think about the local competition being the base of the pyramid, that's a real wide, broad base. And then the league championships, you know, that's a fewer, more elite players. Then the state and regional events and the players that play in those. And then the tip of the pyramid should be the tournaments, that pro tour.
Right.
Right now, what we have in foosball, it's just cattywampus. You have a pro tour
with no structure underneath.
And yeah, and it's just balancing on virtually nothing at the local level. For instance, when foosball, during those times you were talking about in Dallas, I had a pretty good organization going down in the Houston area. You know, I think at one time I had about 118 tables out, as I said earlier, run tournaments 7 nights a week. I ran a lot of events that was structured to bring young players in. I'd have amateur-only tournaments, points race tournaments for only a trophy, so those young players could get in and learn how to play. You probably participated in a lot of some of those from just little certificates. I had a player that's here on the floor now, a world champion player, Tracy McMillan, told me that one of his prized possessions was a paper certificate that he won at the Quarter Arcade.
I remember that.
So that's what we don't have now. And there in Houston, we had that going. Louisiana, there was several promoters in that area that had good local tournaments going. San Antonio was a thriving foosball market. Austin, so in the early 70s, Austin was the hot spot in foosball. Corpus, there was some stuff going in Corpus. El Paso had stuff going. Then you went up north of the Red River. Lake Penley had a tremendous amount of folks. Hell, we from Starbucks all the way to Tulsa, Broken Arrow, tons of foosball players. I remember we went to Oklahoma for a national championship during the 4th of July, and we had more players from Texas in Oklahoma than they had Texas. And there was a tremendous amount of players in Oklahoma. But as that base went away, having the tournaments in Dallas, it really wasn't effective. I mean, people wanted to come to Las Vegas. And now that we've got 2 tournaments in Vegas, they can choose, well, do I go to the tournament in the spring? That's got leagues, and maybe I'm not involved in leagues. Or no, I think I'll just save my money and go in the fall. So we've taken what small pie there is out there, and we've split it into a smaller chunk.
How do you feel about Mary and her tour and what she's doing for table soccer these days?
Mary and her tour is great.
Yep.
The problem is she's seeing the same things I am. Because she can move around, it's not as bad as everyone coming here. But we have to have some local participation to support what Mary's doing. You know, Mary's events are good. And Mary started as a local promoter.
Mm-hmm.
You know, she started to pretty much as I did and ran local tournaments, and as venues closed and it got harder for her to do, and everyone likes the tournament, you know, the big money deal, the big payoff, the instant gratification. And she started running, and you know, she's a great promoter, running tournaments. It's just an ABC, you know, it's not rocket science. So what she's doing is really good that she's doing it, but at some point, someone's going to have to pull the reins back and try to and really see how we can foster local, small town, hometown USA events and get that pyramid going back in the right direction.